So I got my first Scrapyard Briggs of 2022 today. Haven't been to the Scrapyard that many times this year. Plus, you know, you gotta fight the snow and stuff. But last week we had a big melt off. It got close to 60 Fahrenheit. But anyway, I was there today and pulled this guy out of the pile. He was a bit buried in snow, and it's got an interesting build date on it. I don't know if you can read that or not. It's 1990, February 22nd. So basically, it's got 900 and then 5 2s in a row. So that's February 22nd, 1990. And of course, this year we had, you know, February 22nd, 2022. The only way you can get another 2, you gotta wait 200 years. Then it'd be all 2s. But anyway, I don't expect any of us will be around in 200 years. So anyway, she's a pretty well complete motor. There's no spark plug in it. It's not seized up. It's got the long crankshaft. So anyway, I like the older motors. Like I say, they have the you know, steel gear on the crankshaft versus the very new ones that have plastic gear, which I'm not a big fan of. But anyway, so I'll commence a little bit of a teardown on this, and we'll see what shape the cylinder's in. There's that, and the crankshaft and connecting rod are the main things I look for. So I'll start tearing her down here. So I got the top cover off it there, and removed the air filter. So now usually the first thing I do, I get rid of the blade brake. So that involves a 1/4 inch and a couple of or a 5/16 socket for a couple of those there. Get that off, and then I can take the gas tank bolts out. And one thing you never want to forget on these motors, you got a spacer here between the gas tank, the mount that's part of the gas tank, and the engine block. If you forget that, you'll break the tab off on the gas tank. A lot of the newer ones they incorporated in a piece of sheet metal, which is actually a good idea, because I have seen a number of broken gas tanks. So there we go, got the blade brake off and the gas tank, and there's the spacer I was talking about there. I just screwed that bolt back in, keep the other little bolts there together in a group. I like my little battery powered impact here. It definitely speed things up a lot. I held off on getting one of them and using it. My son finally convinced me that it would be a big time saver. He was definitely right. It works good for taking out rusty bolts and stuff too. Now got the cylinder head bolts out. It's got the old style reusable head gasket. So that's good. Got some oil sitting in the cylinder there. I'll have to drain it out, and I guess I should drain it out of the crankcase at the same time, since I haven't done that. But so far the cylinder's looking okay. Usually you have to you know, wipe it down, get it dry so you can actually have a good look at it, determine if the block's still good. So we got some scores on the cylinder at the top there. Don't see any anywhere else, but I don't know. It should still run with that amount of scoring from what I've seen. But there wasn't a whole lot of oil in the motor. I'd say like 3/4 of a cup. So either somebody drained it or it got run real low. So I guess I'm in for pulling her apart and having a look at the connecting rod, seeing what shape she's actually in. So I gotta clean some of the gunk off the back there and haul it inside onto my workbench and do a tear down. Well, I've got the crankcase cover off here. Not an excessive amount of sludge in the bottom of it. It's got the full circle plastic camshaft there, and I gotta admit the crankshaft was very clean. I had to just do some light filing on it to get that crankcase cover off. A lot of times there's heavy duty filing and sanding and all kinds of stuff, but this one pretty much came off real easy. I was impressed. So there is just light scoring in the cylinder there. You can't even hook your fingernail up on it, so I've seen a lot worse than that. So that's not bad. And surprisingly, the connecting rod is A1, both sides of it there. And even the piston, I don't see any scoring on it really. And the crankshaft. Crankshaft was mint. So yeah, all in all, good find. So this 1990, of course, has the old style piston and rod, and it's got the little tiny washer on the flywheel. It still has the, having trouble finding it. Recoil starters made of aluminum. There it is. That's aluminum recoil starter. So that's pretty much the construction of 1990 Briggs there. And then of course it's got the removable gear on the crankshaft. At least it's some steel based product. Anyway, all in all, a good engine find, because it's got a lot of useful parts. I think I'm going to leave the crankshaft out of it and put it with my crank collection. Then I'll just put the piston back in and seal her up. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching, and just trying to show the construction of a 1990 Briggs lawnmower engine here, 3.5 horse. Well, there. Got my ID number on the block, and it's all put back together. Spark plug in the hole, so she's all plugged up. Got rag in each end of it there. It's all ready to be cocooned to join the 500.